Teenager films immigration swoop on her dad. A teenage girl burst into tears last week when she was forced to watch her undocumented father being arrested as he gave her a ride to school. 13-year-old Fatima Avelica began filming on her cell phone when immigration and customs enforcement agents pounced on her dad in Los Angeles last Tuesday. Fatima's 48-year-old father had just dropped one of his 4 daughters off at school when he was pulled over by the feds. Fatima and her mother watched on in horror as he was arrested and taken away. According to immigration officials, Fatima's dad has a criminal record that includes a 2009 conviction for driving under the influence. He was also subject to an outstanding order of removal dating back to 2014. A lawyer for the Avelica family is now attempting to file paperwork for a U visa, which would allow Fatima's dad to stay in the country. Now, there's no point in going into the rights and wrongs of immigration legalities here. The law is the law, and it's very clear on who should and shouldn't be here. But we can't help wonder whether maybe there might have just, have been a better time for the Icemen to make their move. Maybe not during the morning school run, perhaps? Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Keeping U.S. borders secure is a never-ending battle for the authorities.
Fake U.S. Border Patrol car found smuggling undocumented migrants. In a win for U.S. Border Patrol, agents last Thursday busted alleged smugglers trying to get 12 undocumented migrants into the United States using a vehicle painted to look exactly like an actual Border Patrol SUV. On December 10, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers from the Laredo sector near the Texas-Mexico border uncovered an apparent people smuggling operation that had modified a Chevrolet Tahoe to resemble an official Border Patrol vehicle. The cloned SUV, however, was missing the flashing lights used on Border Patrol Tahoes. It also kept the footbar and front bumper which real Border Patrol vehicles don't use, as they're designed to go off-road. Agents noticed the irregularities on the suspect vehicle and pulled it over. Inside, agents discovered a total of 12 people crammed into the back of the counterfeit SUV. The Tahoe had been stripped of all of its rear cabin seating. Border Patrol told KRGV News the discovery is the first cloned Border Patrol unit discovered in recent memory in the Laredo sector.
Illegal entry spikes at Texas border. Migrants trying to get into the U.S. are doing so in droves recently. One Border Patrol veteran said it's because they're worried Trump will start building his wall once he's sworn into office in January. Recent months have seen an increase in the number of people caught illegally crossing into Texas from Mexico, from 37,000 in August to more than 46,000 in October. Detention facilities that used to see a maximum of 34,000 individuals are now holding 41,000, most of them families and unaccompanied children. The flood of illegal immigrants has led U.S. Customs and Border Patrol to send an extra 150 agents from Arizona and Texas to processing centers near the border. These agents will be screening and classifying the undocumented migrants, in effect freeing up local agents to focus on border security. A similar surge occurred on the South Texas border in 2014, after migrants escaped Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador to seek refuge in the U.S.
Mexican man tried to hang himself at U.S. border fence. A 27-year-old Mexican man is recovering after he pulled an unorthodox stunt at the U.S.-Mexican border. At 7 p.m. on Sunday, a U.S. Border Patrol agent was on his usual rounds. A man approached the border fence from the Mexican side, equipped with a rope to scale it. He fastened the rope to the fence and climbed up to the top, overlooking the U.S. side. When the agent saw him, the man wrapped the loose end of the rope around his neck and jumped off the fence into U.S. territory. The agent ran over and lifted up the man's legs to try and stop the rope from choking him to death. The agent held the man up and got help from a second officer until eventually the rope loosened and they were able to lower him to the ground. The man wasn't breathing, but one of the officers revived him, and the man was then rushed to Calexico Regional Medical Center. The man's name has not been released.
Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Nearly 900 deportees were mistakenly given U.S. citizenship. Oops. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has made a big boo-boo. Over 850, in fact. An audit of the department found that 859 deportees, people who were supposed to be thrown out of the U.S., were actually granted citizenship instead. This is largely due to the fact that both they and the feds have sharing issues and don't hold several thousand fingerprint records in their digital databases. WTF? Homeland Security only started digitizing fingerprints back in 2007. And there's around 148,000 records belonging to deportees, fugitives, and criminals that haven't been digitized. Scared yet? You should be, because 3 of the people mistakenly granted citizenship were found to be working in security-sensitive roles at airports and maritime facilities. Their credentials were revoked, but there could be more. The audit comes after terror attacks in San Bernardino, California, and Paris, France last year. It recommends that the Department of Homeland Security finish uploading old fingerprints. Yeah, no shit.
U.S. immigration in crisis. Quick, nobody fix it. Higher than normal levels of violence in Central America have led to a baby bum rush on the U.S. border, with children running to the U.S. today to escape problems started by the U.S. 30 years ago. But with Texas Governor Rick Perry deploying the National Guard and amateur border patrols confusing soccer jerseys for Muslim prayer rugs, fears of adolescent Al-Qaeda cells hiding in the herd of refugee children are giving Texans itchy trigger fingers. The Texas GOP's crowd-pleasing Texas solution with its guest worker visas looked set to fix America's broken immigration law. But it was scuttled by immigration hardliners, leaving Latinos alienated yet again. Meanwhile, Obama is fighting the House for $3.7 billion to either feed or deport the children back to Central America. A plan Democrats say exacerbates a humanitarian crisis and Republicans say encourages more illegals. Looks like we'll be here a while.